Have you ever looked at someone your age who's already retired? Maybe they're 40, traveling the world, while you're still checking your bank app before buying a coffee, and thought, what the hell did I do wrong? Or maybe you've got that friend who started investing a few dollars a week back in their 20s, and now they've got rental properties, a solid portfolio, and zero stress about money, while you're debating whether you can afford extra guac at Chipotle. Here's the truth that stings a little. Every single month you delay building wealth is costing you thousands of dollars in future gains. Not hundreds, thousands. Hey, I'm Young, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people understand compound interest in theory, yet still don't do anything about it in real life, because knowing something and acting on it are two completely different games. If you've ever said, I'll start investing next year, this video is for you. I'm going to show you exactly how much money that kind of procrastination quietly steals from you. And if this changes how you see your financial future, hit that like button, not for me, but as a commitment to your future self. Let's break this down with real numbers, no fluff. Say you start investing $500 a month at age 25, earning a 7% average return. By the time you're 65, that's around $1.3 million. Now, imagine your friend waits until 30 to start. Same amount each month, same return. Just 5 years later, they'll end up with about $900,000. That's a $400,000 difference just because of a 5-year delay. Here's the crazy part. If that same person wants to catch up, they need to save double or more every month. Why? Because time is the one resource you can't replace. You can always make more money, but you can't buy more years of compounding. If I had to choose between someone who starts young and stays consistent versus someone who's disciplined but starts late, I'd pick the young starter every single time. Because discipline matters, but time multiplies everything. The hardest part for most people isn't understanding compound interest, it's believing it matters right now. Because the early results are underwhelming. You invest $500 and at the end of the first year, you've earned, what? 35s. That's not life-changing. It's easy to think. Why even bother? I could just spend this. But that's where most people completely miss the point. That first $35 isn't just a one-time gain. It's a seed. It grows, compounds, and generates more returns year after year. By year 10, that original $500 has nearly doubled. By year 20, it's close to quadrupled. And by year 40, that same $500 turns into roughly $8,000 from one small decision you made decades earlier. That's the power of compounding. It looks boring in the beginning and unstoppable in the end. The results are never linear. They're exponential. At first, your graph is flat. Then one day, it starts curving up so fast it feels like magic. But it's not magic. It's math. And that's why most people fail to take advantage of it, because we're wired to expect instant results. But wealth doesn't reward speed. It rewards patience. So here's the question. Are you going to keep waiting for the right time? That mythical moment when you feel financially ready? Or are you going to start where you are with what you have right now? Because every single month you wait, that curve flattens just a little more, and the cost of catching up grows steeper. Let's get real for a second. The biggest mistake most people make with money isn't buying the wrong stock or missing a crypto bull run, it's waiting. They think they're being smart by preparing first, waiting until debts are paid off, or until they get that raise, or until life feels a little more stable. But here's the truth. Nobody ever feels completely stable. There's always something, a car repair, a family event, a once-in-a-lifetime vacation that eats your savings. And then 1 year turns into 5, and 5 turns into 10, and suddenly you're 40, realizing the best years for compounding are already gone. Every year you wait is like burning money you'll never get back. And because compounding doesn't just reward what you invest, it rewards when you invest. Even a single year of delay means losing out on 30 or 40 years of growth on that year's contributions. Let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine two friends, Alex and Jordan. Alex starts investing $500 a month at 25. Jordan waits until 35 to start, but doubles the contribution to $1,000 a month. By 65, guess who has more? It's Alex, and it's not even close. Despite Jordan saving twice as much, Alex still ends up with nearly $200,000 more. Because Alex gave their money an extra 10 years to grow, that's the power of time. You can't hustle your way into it. You can't work harder to catch up. You either use it or you lose it. See, when you start early, your money starts doing the heavy lifting for you. By the time you're 40, Your portfolio might already be generating returns larger than what you contribute each month. At that point, you're not just saving, you're owning time. You're letting compound interest turn your hours of work today into freedom tomorrow. But if you wait, you flip that equation upside down. Now you're the one doing all the lifting, trying to save more, work longer, and stress harder to make up for lost years. That's why I always say, starting early lets you live a normal life later. Wait too long, and you'll need extreme financial discipline just to survive. If you start at 25, you can build wealth by being average, saving a few $100 each month, earning typical market returns. If you start at 35, you have to save over $1,000. Wait until 45, and now you're talking about $2,000 or $3,000 a month, just to catch up to what you could have had by doing a little less earlier. It's like showing up late to a marathon. You don't just start behind, you start exhausted before you even begin. And here's what most people never realize. The cost of waiting isn't only measured in dollars, it's measured in options. When you invest early, you start buying freedom. Freedom to take a year off, freedom to switch careers, freedom to spend more time with your family or start a business without panicking about bills, freedom to say no to things you hate. That's what real wealth looks like. One, not yachts or Lamborghinis, but options. By the time you're in your 40s or 50s, if you've been consistent, your investments might be generating passive income that covers part of your lifestyle. That's financial runway, the breathing room that lets you live life on your own terms. But if you wait until your 40s to start, you're not building freedom. You're building dependency. You'll have to keep working, keep grinding, because your money hasn't had enough time to work for you. And the cruel irony, you'll be making more money than ever, but have less freedom than you did in your 20s because you didn't buy time when it was cheap. People think the goal is to get rich. It's not. The goal is to get free. And time, not money, is the currency that buys that freedom. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Are you going to spend the next decade waiting for the right moment? Or are you going to start today and let time finally start working for you instead of against you? Because every day you wait, you're not just standing still, you're moving backward. Let's talk about something most financial gurus skip over, the psychology of starting. Because knowing what to do isn't the problem. Acting on it is. Most people already know that investing early pays off. They've seen the charts. They've heard the Einstein quote about compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world. They nod their heads, say, yeah, I'll start soon, and then do nothing. Why? Because investing doesn't feel rewarding at first. It's boring. It's slow. It's invisible. You can't feel your $35 of annual growth the way you can feel the excitement of buying something new. We're wired for short-term gratification, not delayed rewards. So when we save or invest, it feels like we're losing. We give up pleasure now for a future that feels too far away to matter. But here's where the mental shift happens. You're not just investing money, you're investing time and discipline. Two things that multiply everything else you do in life. That first $50 or $500 you invest isn't impressive because of the amount. It's powerful because of what it represents. It's a declaration that you're taking control of your financial future instead of waiting for the world to hand it to you. Think about it. The habit is more valuable than the dollar amount because habits compound too. If you start with $50 a month when you're broke, you're building the system that will one day handle $500 or $5,000 a month without even thinking about it. You're training your brain to see investing as non-negotiable, just another part of life, like paying rent or eating dinner. Meanwhile, the person who never starts keeps telling themselves, I'll begin when I make more. Then they get a raise and every dollar goes toward lifestyle upgrades, a nicer car, a bigger apartment, more subscriptions, more everything. Their income goes up, but their savings rate doesn't. They've built habits around spending, not growing. Here's the truth. Nobody likes to admit, if you can't invest $50 when you make $2,000 a month, you won't magically start investing $500 when you make $5,000 because it's not an income problem, it's a habit problem. The people who build wealth aren't necessarily smarter or luckier, they just build the right behaviors early and let those behaviors do the compounding for them. Even if you start small, your future self will thank you because each month you invest, you're not just adding money, you're buying confidence. You're watching your account grow. You're seeing your progress, and that proof changes how you think. When you actually see your investments earn money while you sleep, even if it's $3 or $30, something clicks. You realize your money can work harder than you can. That realization shifts everything. It makes you calmer during downturns. It makes you smarter about spending. It makes you more patient because you've seen the game work with your own eyes. And the patience becomes your greatest financial advantage. Now, contrast that with the person who waits until they're 45 or 50 to start investing seriously. They've never seen compound growth in real time. They've never felt the satisfaction of watching their money recover after a market dip. So when a crash happens, and it always does, they panic. They sell low, they lock in losses. The early investor, they shrug and keep buying. They know the market recovers. They've seen it before. That long-term mindset, that calm in the storm, only comes from time in the market, not from reading about it. Here's another underrated benefit of starting young. You get to make mistakes while they're cheap. You can invest in something dumb, lose $1,000, and still have 30 years to recover. No harm, no foul. But if you make that same mistake at 55, it could set back your retirement. Starting early buys you the ability to fail safely. It gives you the emotional resilience and practical experience to handle bigger sums later. And that's the real secret. The earlier you start, the more room you have to grow, not just financially, but psychologically. Because wealth isn't only about money, it's about peace of mind, confidence, and the ability to handle whatever life throws at you without panic. Starting early gives you that peace. Waiting steals it. So if you're sitting there thinking, I can't start big right now, don't worry. Start small, start messy, start imperfectly, because every dollar invested today is worth far more than the perfect plan you'll create someday. The point isn't to start perfectly, it's to start now. Let's get brutally honest for a second. Every month you delay is not neutral. It's expensive. You're not waiting to start. You're actively losing money you'll never get back. Imagine this. You plan to start investing next month, but life happens. So you delay just 1 month. If you would have invested $500, that $500 could have compounded for the next 30 or 40 years at 7% a year. That one missed month, it could have grown into $6,000 or $7,000 by the time you retire. Now multiply that by 12 months in a year, that's tens of thousands of dollars gone, just from a year of indecision. 5 years of hesitation, you've casually thrown away hundreds of thousands in future wealth. And most people don't even realize it's happening. They tell themselves, next year will be better, but next year comes with new problems, new bills, new excuses, and before they know it, the window of easy compounding has closed. This is why time is more valuable than money, because it can't be replaced. You can make back lost money, but you can't buy back lost years. And if you're older right now, maybe you're thinking, well, it's too late for me anyway. It's not. Yes, you missed the best time to start, but the second best time is right now. Starting at 40 or 50 won't make you rich overnight, but it will still give you more than doing nothing. The difference between starting late and never starting at all is massive. Because even a smaller nest egg gives you options. Options that zero will never give you. And that's the point. The goal isn't to become a millionaire just for the title. It's to buy freedom. Freedom from financial anxiety. Freedom from being stuck in a job you hate. Freedom to take a break without fear. Every dollar you invest is a dollar that starts working for you. 24 hours a day. 365 days a year. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't get tired. It just compounds quietly while you live your life. Here's another thing most people overlook. The psychological cost of waiting. People who've been investing for years feel calm about money. They're not panicking when the economy dips or when a friend flexes a new car because they have something most others don't. Proof. Proof that their money works. Proof that their patience pays off. Someone might make double their salary but feel broke because they have nothing invested, just a pile of bills and lifestyle expenses. Meanwhile, the steady investor with $100,000 in their account feels secure, even if they earn less, because security isn't about income, it's about ownership. When you own assets that generate income, you're free, and freedom compounds too. Once you've built a foundation, your financial decisions stop being about survival and start being about choice. You can choose jobs that align with your values instead of your bills. You can take risks. You can say no. You can live life by design, not default, but none of that happens if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, because that moment doesn't exist. There's no perfect time. There's only time that passes. So here's the truth that might sting a little, but could change everything. If you don't start now, you're choosing to make your future harder than it needs to be. You're choosing stress over stability. You're choosing to work longer instead of letting your money work for you. But the flip side is powerful, because the moment you start, the curve bends in your favor. Every week, every month, every contribution becomes a small brick in the foundation of your future freedom. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything about investing. You just need to start with what you have, where you are right now. Because 5 years from now, you'll look back and either say, I'm so glad I started, or I wish I had. And the only difference between those two futures is the decision you make today. So, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This is the week you set up that investment account. This is the month you automate that transfer. This is the year you stop letting time slip away. You can't change the past, but you can absolutely change your future starting right now. The sooner you start, the sooner time starts working for you. And one day, years from now, you'll wake up and realize the best financial decision you ever made was simply starting early.